We have an awesome panel across the latest breakthroughs in the SP software stack. I think starting with Andy.
All right, so I'm Andy from the Curio team. Thanks, Molly. This is the SP toolbox that integrates everything together, and to represent what this kind of feels like, we've integrated everything together on one slide. So by putting everything together, we can put important things next to each other, and you can see this in our latest Curio markets, a replacement for Boost that brings the 5 binaries that it took to run down to 2 binaries, just Lotus and Curio. And the interface in markets is such that wherever you're looking at sealing and storage, you get a connection of how this affects the deals you have, because integration helps you make better choices, right? So we have also been working on saving SPs money. Offline DDO and automatic batching of snap deals has gone some way to help them out there. Since CID gravity is the big deal filter, we went ahead and have that integrated into Curio now. So along with existing CID gravity users who have a workflow on the CID gravity site, we now have filters that are somewhat similar right in the Curio UI that you get to use and get the same kind of filtering that has done well so far with CID gravity. We're also working closely with them on an ongoing basis for a technology called CID Gravity Gateway. Well, the name is in flux. The idea is to bring a bunch of larger data sets to Filecoin more quickly, and this tool will be able to help us there. So about Curio, we have docs in English and in Chinese, including the little SVGs and things, the reference graphics. You see an example over there. And that's not enough for everybody to wrap their mind around it. So we went ahead and put a deep dive series on YouTube on how Curio works, how we built it, and how somebody who wants to be an SP or wants to do more with their SP business can use it to do some amazing things like the batching improvements for sealing that got released. All the information is in the docs and preview there in the YouTube series. As mentioned, the UX, there's a lot of pieces and parts, so we have focused in the past few months on overhauling the UX. There's a cleaner initial page that's an overview. Today, it's very optimized towards the one thing that SPs can do, but we are making it modular now so that different graphs will appear as you need them for different things that SPs could be doing in the future, such as PDP. Another UI example, did the friendly wallet names down there, you can see in the bottom middle, to put nice names on wallets and not take up your whole screen with a wallet name that you're probably not going to remember more than the first or last few characters. So you can just hit the copy button and have those, but otherwise have your screen showing you something a little more useful. We introduced server coordinating. This solves the problem of having errors whenever you just shut down a server because it was in the middle of something. So now you can do zero error server repair. With Sriracha, another company in the ecosystem, we worked together to build a proof of concept for PDP, the unsealed data storage we heard about earlier. And Curio was the backbone of some of those demos, I think, most likely. And along with this, there was some work done in trustless distributed computing, and the Confidential Computing Consortium is an event where you can see one of the Curio founders presenting a paper that he did there recently. Now, for those following along and picking up all these features and installing them as soon as they're created, they probably know all of this. But for those who just set their Debian upgrades on automatic, you also have all those features as they have shipped out there in the Debian updates I've listed down below. All but the latest get automatically installed. So everybody gets to see these features at the next time they log into their Curio UI. So today, the Curio team is focused on reimagining the storage marketplace, and deal making is our focus. We're trying to make it so that for all parties, the deal making mechanism makes sense. We're certainly going to be leaning on FWS to do the smart contract portions of that, and then have the SPs so that their environments will work to be able to accept deals and seal or do PDP in accordance to what they want to have done, all by these the smart contracts that they approve that they want to be working with. So stay tuned to Phil Curio Announce to see more, and our Twitter page will be adding things there, and happy sealing.
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. Vuk, do you want me to share slides for you, or do you want to share your own? Okay,
Yeah, I'll
continue on.
share my screen in a second. But first of all, like, would be great if everyone can actually go to this page. Basically, what it is, it's a calculator that like we were trying to like build for a while at PL, but like Filecoin was so difficult that a calculator couldn't actually be easy enough to use to actually be useful. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and maybe I can walk people through. Ultimate, am I sharing? Which screen am I sharing? Just a sec.
It says Ramo profitability calculator is the
Yeah,
screen you're sharing.
great. Okay, so cool. Generally, what Ramo is, Ramo basically allows you to like just commit a particular resource without any collateral involved, nothing in terms of like crypto shenanigans that like we invented because we had to. Instead, like what we treat providers as is basically as normal resource providers. It can be like a hosting company, it can be like a GPU farm, we don't care. And ultimately, what we allow them to do is just extract value from the hardware that they have. Now, in the context of storage, like it's really simple. Usually, providers have a few SAPs that they use. Like usually, this is a Seagate Exos 5U84, very famous JBOD. And then you have a variety of these chassis that you use, and then you have a particular like kind of drive that you can use, and it goes from like low density ones that are a few years old to like a super high density ones that are 30 terabytes. And what the calculator does here is basically it gives you like a sense of how much money are you going to make if you allocate your hardware on the Ramo network. The Ramo network abstracts away Filecoin in a way where like the only thing that you need to do is basically provide the storage, and everything else happens like on the Ramo compute market. So like window post, and like all the sealing, of course, like all of that happens elsewhere. The only thing that the providers do is basically like they store data, and of course, like every 24 hours, like a random piece ID would need to be gone from that storage. But ultimately, even window post does not happen on that particular host, but rather it happens on a compute market elsewhere. And if you see here, basically like with 20 terabyte drives, and like if you're paying like something normal in energy, like you're making a lot of money like right away, like basically without sealing. Basically your margins are like basically 50%. Now, of course, like the thing that we did not account for here is like operational costs, if you have people on the ground changing drives and stuff like that. But this is very particular for like each user, because like it might be new hardware that does not need to like have like the drive changed all the time, but it can also be like super old hardware that has a high failure rate. But ultimately, like what the parameters are here is like the total capacity that is usable, the cost of the JBOD. So like we are incorporating that here. Usually This is much lower because like no one buys like new JBods and puts them on the Filecoin network. Usually it's like, oh, you find like refurbished drives or whatever else, and then like you build your chassis and you put them on the network. So you can imagine this number being even half of this. Like right now we are looking at around 14 to 15 dollars per terabyte. Usually it can be 7, 6 if you really push it. And yeah, like ultimately the biggest cost driver you can see comes from the capex. So like you have a big capex that you need to amortize over like 60 months, and that's the biggest driver here. Like even though like most people think it's actually the energy even with like something around 10 cents is actually not that high. Like it's basically just 1/10 of yeah, basically of the rewards that are possible here. I see some questions. Uh, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it can be very, I mean, like it can get as crazy as like $100 per petabyte if you do your job really well. Anyhow, like this is what I wanted everyone to show. Like right now, we are bottlenecked by our ability to absorb more storage, not to absorb more data. So like we would love if whoever has like some storage sitting idle, especially in East Coast US, to just reach out to us, like clicking on this button and locking some time with Lucas and I. Thank you so much.
Epic. Thank you so much, Vuk. And you heard it here, storage/service providers, new opportunities to get involved and make profit. All right, I think we have a video from Steven, since it's crazy late China time, to give a quick overview of Venus and Lotus Miner.
Hello, everyone. This is Steven from Venus team. Venus, I think most people already know Venus as one of the Filecoin client implementation, which include SoFi, the chain service, and also demo class and storage power service, and Droplet, the storage deal service, yeah, which is a counterpart of Lotus, but different from Lotus. Yeah, this is one thing. Yeah, besides that, actually, Venus has some other different business. For example, the Venus Hub as a ecosystem supporter based on the Venus, and also Venus and SP Stack. Firstly, I want to introduce the Venus Hub contribution in last year. Venus Hub, supported by the Filecoin Foundation, has operated as a central hub for community initiatives and resources within the Venus ecosystem by leveraging the Venus and Venus SP stacks alongside parameter and snapshot services. Venus Hub has effectively supported around 15% of all network SPs and 20% of total network QAP, marking it as a vital contributor to Filecoin's growth. Aside from the number, the percentage, and Venus Hub actually provides some other services. The first is Venus Node as a Service, NAS, supports nearly 300 SP nodes concurrently with elastic scalability to meet various demands. And Proof Parameter Service enabled about 4 downloads per month, and also snapshot services, which provides at an average of 18 downloads monthly and extra 132 snapshots during network upgrading. Besides this, and we are also one of the 19 global providers for derived services who are supporting Filecoin and other blockchain for the low bias randomness. Yeah, this is about Venus Hub supporting the ecosystem, and also Venus SP Stack, which is about the software. The Venus SP Stack concept began in late 2022 and was realized through the collaborative effort of the Venus team and community by early 2023. We provide a lot of documentation to clarify the difference between the Venus SP stack and the reference SP stack. And also, Venus SP stack has continuously supported Filecoin network upgrades from NV18 to NV25. Besides this, and we have Droplet, the storage deal services to support DDO. So currently, the SPs who use the Droplet can directly onboard their data. Besides all the work regarding Velas, and we also take the lotus miner maintenance job from last year and not last year to support every network upgrading and also necessary bug fix and continue to contribute to all the SPs. That's all about the Velas update. Thank you.